Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. I'm Adrian, your community manager. And with me today, we have Max Murphy and Michelle Shaw, our Chief of Technology Officer. Max Murphy. Would you like to introduce yourself, Max?
Yeah, hey, it's me, it's Max, CTO at Congregate. Glad you all made it today.
And our Chief Blockchain Operations Officer, Michelle Shaw. Could you introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Michelle. Excited to be here to tell you more about what we have planned for Conrate.com.
Great. And yeah, that's why we're here today. We have some questions from you that we collected about what is going on with Congregate.com right now. You've noticed there's been some updates. We have a couple updates still on the way. And it's some pretty exciting times, and we're excited to talk about it more. Max and Michelle, could you just tell us a little bit of your history with Congregate?
Sure, I'll start. Yeah, so I have been a Congregate player since, oh my gosh, closed alpha days. I believe my ID in the database is number 520. Had some friends over here, made friends with the founders over the years and everything, and have been here at Congregate now for 8 years, all in engineering leadership. Came in 8 years ago and got us out of a data center, and have done many projects between then and now. And the latest one is Congregate.com. And look at that audience fill up. How cool is that? All right, I'll pass off to Michelle.
That is so cool seeing everybody pop in. Hi, I'm Michelle. I have been at Congregate for not quite as long as Max. I wish I could say that I have been, but I've been here for almost 6 years, which is crazy to think about, mainly with our marketing department, though I have taken up the blockchain bandwagon that Max kind of started, and I'm helping him build it even further out from his initial vision into this larger project that we're doing between Conrate.com, Blood Vessels, if you all have seen that, and then the Bitverse, and potentially more in the future.
Yeah, and we have a lot of changes coming to .com. More specifically, we had our Ruffle integration update that just launched recently. Michelle, could you talk a little bit more about that?
Sure. I feel like I should let Max talk about some of that stuff, but I am happy to toot the horn for Max and his team. But Ruffle has been something that's been going on in the back end, in addition to some tech work to really make what's coming in the future possible. But the thing that we're so excited about with Ruffle is just getting more of those games that we've had on the site playable again. We know Supernova has been great in some cases, but not great in others. And we feel like the combination of Ruffle and Supernova are going to service way more of the games that are on the site. And we're looking to see if we can do even more than that in the future. And yeah, do you want me to answer more about that?
No, actually, I was going to have Max if he wants to elaborate any further on that.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, I've been watching the Ruffle project, and it's incredibly impressive, the amount of compatibility that's happening there. And getting into that ecosystem has been a goal of ours for a while. So now we're there. We have it out, and you can play games with it. Next steps is getting involved with the Ruffle project, etc. Love open source software. We're a big proponent of it. As Michelle was saying, we do have a lot of back end upgrades happening. It's well known. We're a Ruby on Rails site. We've just got some debt to pay off and some updates to do, which we're doing. And we got some great visual updates on the way, sometime soon.
Awesome. And yeah, so can we talk about that? What's the next update for Congregate.com? Max or Michelle, or wants to take it on?
So I apologize that we're going to be a little bit vague in this, but we do have some really cool stuff coming in terms of the visual changes to the site. I think this next month, September, you should keep your eyes peeled, because we have a few different big changes that we're hoping to make. We just don't want to say the exact date, just in case it moves a little bit this way or that way. But definitely stay tuned. You should see some visual changes to the site. Nothing that changes the actual functionality. So don't be stressed about your experience is going to change. It's just going to be this really nice kind of facelift to make us feel and look more modern, like we really want to be.
Awesome. Yeah, and people have asked us, what's being done to add new content to the site. And we have a few people asking if we're planning to open the site up to indie developers again. Max, you wanna elaborate on that?
Yeah, I'll start with a short answer. Yes, and I'll get into the long one. As we've mentioned in past AMAs, with our partner Immutable X, we have this great $40 million game development fund in the Web3 space. On top of that, we're finding other partners to build a even larger ecosystem. Our long-term goal is to open it back up more broadly. Of course, the signal to noise ratio that we were experiencing there for a while. I mean, you see 120,000 games. How many are, my first Scratch project with the little Scratch MIT Scratch cat bouncing around a page. So there's going to be definitely some moderation of the games that get uploaded, and in that realm, it's really for content and making sure that they fit the ecosystem and all those great things.
Great. Okay. We'll be seeing new games at some point. How about badges? Are we going to see badges back to the site? I mean, I think a lot of people listening love and miss badges.
Yeah, badges are awesome. All achievements are awesome, and we're definitely building on and renovating the overall metagame on the site. There's quite a few pieces in there. They're all getting upgraded. Looking on the technical side, we have much more modern and efficient transport buses. So we're working on those kinds of things to make that experience a lot better, a lot faster, and a lot less contentious than it's been in the past. You have one Congregate game tab open and you go to another and everything doesn't work because you're connected in another session. I'm sure people have witnessed that in the past, making everything just a lot more modern and easier to deal with on both, the experience side and on the technical side, to bring, more badges, more points, not to reveal too much, but I do have a team working on the new metagame, and I can't wait to share more of that with everyone.
Wow, I'm getting excited just listening. So speaking of like modern changes, how about the chat rooms? What's going on with the chat rooms? Those are another beloved piece of Congregate that we kind of miss at the moment.
Yeah, so we're looking at ways to really lean into like the current ecosystem out there. With we see a lot of gaming projects on Discord. It seems to be everyone's home. Ways to integrate with that deeper. You'll see some of those experiments happening if you look at the Blood Vessels project itself. But really enriching and blurring the line between playing on the web and being connected with your community in Discord.
Great. So I'm hearing all these changes, and I think a concern that some people have, I know that I would have it, is anything going to happen to my Congregate account? Do I need to update it to the new site? Do I need to remake it?
No, your current account will continue to exist, and you can continue building upon your achievements, your points, everything that you know and love about your Congregate profile, with a lot of new functionality. And the one thing I will call out, there's definitely a shift in some of the social aspects of the site, but that's really to, as I was saying just a minute ago, to lean more into these newer, more widely adopted technologies such as Discord, and blurring that line between Discord and our site.
Let's ask something fun here, and let's ask something to Michelle specifically. Michelle, what's your favorite Congregate.com game?
So I have an interesting one. I don't know how many people have played it because it was one of our Launchpad games, but I remember around the time that I initially started at Congregate, everybody in the office was playing this game, and I got sucked into it as well. It's called Farm Tiles. It's super cute. It actually takes advantage of this really cool technology that we had developed for developers, where you could pull the companions into your game. And so if you haven't played Farm Tiles, you're basically farming, but you're playing with all of the different companions. So there's the cow companion, and they all have these really cute sound effects. It's the cutest thing you've ever seen. I played that far too much. And fun fact, my image here is my dog Gizmo. If anybody is a companion hunter, they might have also gotten a Gizmo. So just to call out the love of Gizmo that is had within Congregate.
Yeah, that's true of a couple of the Kongpanions being Kong pets before they were Kongpanions. And I also have to say, farm tiles, Michelle told me about this the other day, and I hadn't heard of it, so I checked it out real quick. And it is the single most relaxing sound design I've ever seen. It is just pure zen.
Before you ask me, I want to jump in, Adrian. I want to ask you
Oh.
what your favorite Congregate.com
Oh,
game is.
you do? I would have to say that my favorite Congregate game is Age of War. I can't remember how popular that one was, but that was like my go-to 2009. I got 30 minutes free on a high school computer and no one's watching. I'm going to sneak in some Age of War. I loved that game. How about you, Max?
Awesome.
Well,
I guess I'll go last. I mean, I already see some names in the audience that probably already know this, but my favorite Congregate game is Kongai. Our site-wide metagame, position-based CCG. I could go on about the game. There's a whole Discord community around it. There's a lot of channels in our Discord right now, devoted to Kongai, including some people in the audience here. It's, just reminds me of a great time on the site, great time in the community, and also, big Street Fighter fan, big David Serlin fan, all that great stuff.
Yeah, Konga, it comes up on our server quite a bit. There are some dedicated Kongai fans out there. In fact, we have a couple questions about Kongai specifically. We've had questions if we're going to rework the game, if we can release the code to the original creator. Are there any plans for Kongai? Are you gonna like, some people want to buy it? Are you gonna sell it, Kongai?
No, I'm not going to sell Kongai. I have plans for Kongai. As it stands right now, there is a devoted community still playing the game, jumping through tons of hoops to be able to play with Flash. As those players see, the back end is still there. The back end still works, and what we're the game needs a new client, and that's what I want to provide for it. And going through, basically a green light process is a big thing. Maybe that's something we'll touch on in another AMA or one of our Medium posts, like how we do green lights around here.
Great. Now, what we want to do for this next phase is we actually want to ask you guys who are listening in the audience, if you go to our Just Chatting channel, share your favorite game. We kind of would like to just do like a bit of a nostalgia session where we talk about some of your favorite games and our memories with those games. And while we do this, while we're waiting for these answers to come in, we're also going to set up a giveaway. We're going to have a giveaway that's going to be out of everyone who's currently listening in. That winner will be announced at the end of the session, along with a link to this recording. So, yeah, let's see what we have for favorite games. We have Pocket Politics and Animation Throwdown. Animation Throwdown is still one of our favorite. I love Animation Throwdown.
It's so fun. I was just going to jump in and say I actually started the week after Animation Throwdown launched, and it was so cool coming in. And we had a launch party, and I was like, "Is this what Conrade's like all the time? Do we always have these crazy parties for a big launch?" And I later realized Animation Throwdown was a really huge launch for Congregate, so we didn't always have quite that big of a celebration, though we do always try and celebrate our new games.
I remember that, actually. I joined Congregate months before we signed the title with Fox, and I was involved with production of some parts of it and contract negotiations of all things. But yeah, it was a huge ordeal, I gotta say.
What do we got? We got some people talking about Retro Bowl. I know that's a popular game. I've played it a couple of times. You guys ever played any?
So good.
I'm not a big sports person, but I do enjoy Retro Bowl for some reason. It's just something about that level of graphics that just makes it more enjoyable.
Oh, Clicker Heroes.
Oh, yeah. Legends of Kong.
Legends of Kong. Yeah, Legends of
Sunny,
Kong.
I mean. I only recently discovered Sunny. It was actually part of the Ruffle update. We had a test version of the site. We were trying to find out which games would and wouldn't work with Ruffle so we could start planning events around them. And one of the games that came up a lot was Sunny. And I only played like a couple minutes of it, but it is a really good game. Have you guys played Sunny?
I can't. I honestly can't remember. I've played hundreds of games on Congregate. I'm gonna go find it and play it, and see if it rings a bell. One thing I got to give a shout out to also is Doio. Doio is working with Ruffle, and it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
Speaking of a Zen-like game, I'm a big fan of like all things that are like, you know, Katamari-esque, and it's definitely up there.
Great. Well, well, I think that is enough time to get some of your guys' input. Keep them coming. We're going to look at this as we keep talking, but we have some more questions from you guys, from the community, that we want to ask our guests. We want to ask our people today. So, one thing that I have heard quite a lot on Discord and on Twitter is Congregate is just an NFT company now. How does this play into the new plans for the site?
Well, we're still a game company. I'll say, you know, if we were an NFT company, we'd really be bad at it, having sold just our small inventory on Congregate.io in the past. You know, what we're really digging into here is the technology and really the utility and function of these NFTs, not the speculative nature, but like the additive gameplay, the user agency. You know, that's where my heart lies, and where I'm really focused on our whole, you know, NFT project, NFT narrative, and how we integrate those into games. You know, a perfect example, looking at, say, like the Bitverse, which is one of our projects, that's coming up, and it is a day zero utility style NFT project, right? So you see a lot of these come out, and it's like, hey, you know, buy these NFTs for this game you'll play in like 2027, somewhere around there. And you know, we're coming at it from a different angle. Let's integrate this technology into games that we know how to make, games that we know how to build, and really do everything gaming and player first.
Yeah,
Michelle, anything you want to add?
Yeah, I was just going to add on to that. Max said it really, really well, but I just wanted to say the kind of way I like to think about it is we're a games company. We've always been a games company. We've been doing this for in all different parts of gaming for 16 years. We're not trying to go into some totally other area of the business. We want to make fun games. We want to build communities that want to play those games. And so any project that we're working on or could potentially bring to the site, we want to make sure that it's fun first, and that it showcases the best uses of the technology. And we want to be working with the best technology and the newest technology, and not necessarily accepting the status quo, which is part of why we went down this new path. And yeah, Max mentioned the current projects that we're working on. We have some other super secret ones that we're hoping to do, or that are in like very, very early stages. We can't talk about them yet, but hoping to in the near future.
I'm sensing future Q&As with all the secrets that we still have on the horizon. It's really exciting times. Max, you mentioned Congregate.io there. Do you want to tell us what's going to happen with Congregate.io?
Yeah, I mean the future of Congregate.io is, you know, rolling into the Congregate.com ecosystem. Obviously, we got to really do a big experiment there with NFTs playability. You know, the NFTs purchased were able to be used in the Bit Heroes Quest. It is Bit Heroes Quest now, and you know, those are all those NFTs are still there. They're still owned by the owners that purchased them, and you know, for those who are holding them, like, have I got something in store for you?
Exciting. How about Michelle? Do you have anything you'd like to add about Congregate.io?
So I think the main thing I wanted to add on to this one was I personally have a Stabby, and so I'm really excited to be able to use that Stabby in some way in the future, if I can tease that a little bit.
Ooh. Well,
Don't tease it any more than that, please.
we want. No, I'm kidding. How about this? What we can talk about? What are you most looking forward to in upcoming updates? What are you personally excited about?
Near and dear to my heart.
Yeah, start with Max.
Visual updates. I'm just so excited over them. I mean, Michelle and anyone else on the team can attest to, like, I'm running around with these things just screaming about how great they are.
Michelle?
I can follow up on that. Yeah, they look so good. We're so excited to be able to share them with you. The specific one that I'm really excited about, which is going to come a little bit later, so I apologize that I'm getting a little ahead of myself. But I think there's a lot that we're wanting to do with the profile pages and onboarding experience to really make them feel modern and hopefully more engaging. But it's been a long time since we've had an update to the site, so we're really excited to kind of bring Kare.com to modern times, and hopefully even further than that into the future, to be a forerunner in this kind of technology and this kind of platform.
Awesome. And I myself, if I can just interject here, am looking forward to all of the really cool community events I get to plan around these updates, because pretty much every big update we have planned is some sort of event we are going to be doing on social media, or more importantly, on this Discord channel right now. So I can tell you guys, we got a ton of events and fun things coming. So get hype. How about what can you tell us about what's happening with the Blockchain Developer Fund? How are things going there?
Things are going really well. We have a ton of interest. We're in the realm of meeting, finding, and talking with developers. We have pretty full schedules on that front, so it seems to be working. People are excited, and I hope the next time I do one of these, I can announce some partners that we'll be working with.
That'd be fun. Okay, how about one last question here? Something fun. What is your favorite thing about Congregate.com just as a whole? What do you personally love about Congregate? Max.
Oh, I love the weird games, like all of them. I love being able to get up on a stage like this and say, one of my favorite weird games is Don't Shit Your Pants. It combines, absurdity with the play style of old Sierra Online games. There's other hidden gems if you want something a little weird out there. There's a George Clooney dress up game. There's, there's so much. I mean, you can dress him up in all shoes if you want.
You guys were telling me some stories about when you first discovered the George Clooney dress up game. I had to make sure I said it all correctly.
I know, right? George Clooney dress up idol. Maybe that's coming in 2023. We never know.
Well, luckily, the Community account has just posted it to our Just Chatting, so you could check out this game. It is also strangely addicting. I had not heard of it until the other day, and then it came up, and I spent a good bit of time just putting random clothes on George Clooney. It's a thing. Michelle, besides dressing George Clooney, what is your favorite thing about Congregate.com?
I don't know. I don't think I can follow that one up. Just who doesn't want to dress up George Clooney all day? That sounds like a really fun, relaxing way to spend your day. But I guess I'll try. I'd say my favorite thing about Kare.com is, and I mentioned them earlier, is the companions. I think a lot of our long-term players already know this, but for anybody that's newer, I find it so cool that so many of the companions are actually inspired by staff members and longtime players. It kind of gives them this whole extra depth that a lot of people might not know about. So knowing that Gizmo is actually my dog and is based on this picture in my profile picture is really fun. And just the collection aspect of the site and how it was integrated, I think is really great. And I think there's a lot that Max wants to do with that whole idea, and especially going into this new world of blockchain.
It's funny that you mentioned the ones that are based off of players, because in our Just Chatting channel right now, Holy has used the emote that is his companion. Great. Is there anything else that you would like to add as we're closing up here?
Sure. I don't know if Max is going to sneak in. That's why I was pausing. So yeah, I think it's just so exciting, everything we have planned. We hope that you're going to be excited about it as well. We'd love to hear your feedback as new updates come out and as things really start rolling. So please let us know. Let us know what you think. If there's certain things that you would love more of, let us know. And I do want to give a quick shout out to the vampires in the world. We have this weird project called Blood Vessels. You should go check it out. It is this really cool and innovative game. I remember when the lead on that project started talking to me about it originally, and they and I are both really big horror movie fans, and so we kind of geeked out about the whole idea. But it's really fun. You should come check it out. They're actually going to have their sale in October, which is really cool. And then obviously Bitverse is really cool. I'm sure Adrian might be planning to say more about that, though. I don't want to.
I got tons of things to update everyone on after that. But thank you for letting me segue into that. Before I do, Max, is there any final things you want to add as we're wrapping up here?
No, I think we covered a lot. Thank
We
you
did
all for
ask you a
listening.
lot of questions.
Thanks for listening to me. I mean, that's my number one. We're here for you, the player, and that's who we want to support along with the developer, so that you can build and play great things.
Well, Max, it is also very easy to listen to you. You are a very charismatic person, so thank you very much for taking time to come and answer some of the questions we have. Michelle, as well, thank you very much for your time today. As they mentioned, we do have a couple of things that we would like to remind you about what's going on in our larger Congregate universe. Blood Vessels right now has whitelist spots on Twitter. You can check them out at Blood Vessels NFT or at bloodvessels.io. Bitverse is currently getting ready for a pre-sale. I should specify, because it is not until the 22nd of September. And you can check out information about that at thebitverse.io. We have Bit Heroes Arena slated for a release in mid-October, which is our Battle Royale style arena game with retro graphics set in the Bit Heroes universe. And lastly, stay tuned. Over the next couple of weeks, we're going to have more and more Congregate.com updates. We'll hold future Q&A sessions, so keep an eye out for those as well. Thank you guys very much, and that is all for us today. We'll catch you guys later. Have a good one.